Welcome back to Sawyer Farm. I'm Jacob. Today we are going to be canning some okra. I especially like pickled okra, and so that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. It's actually raining pretty bad outside, so if you hear some thunder, that's the reason why. We're kind of in the house today, and I thought it'd be a good time to make a video on this. We just kind of picked some okra, and so we're going to do some pickling. We've done this a little bit before, a couple batches before this, but we're kind of going to get into it, some of the things that we're using. We got this little kind of canning kit here. I'm pretty sure we have this in our Amazon store if y'all are interested in getting one of those. And another really good thing you can get is this. This is Ball's Home Preserving. It has all the ingredients. If you're kind of just getting the canning, kind of how we are, we haven't been canning for a whole lot, so I mean there's a lot of knowledge that you can get on YouTube and you can get in here. You really want to do your research well whenever you're preserving food, because you are going to be eating this and you don't want to poison anyone, of course. So just look in the recipes, whatever you want to can, and it tells you just step by step on exactly what you're going to be doing. Today I think the servings was, in here it's like 3.5 pounds of okra. I think I may have 6. I'm not exactly sure, 6 or 7. So I'm gonna probably double everything that it costs for. So kind of some work you do before. I've already disinfected all of the countertops where all the jars are gonna be. Got my okra here. Right now I got my jars heating up to sanitize them. So that's what's going on there. Over here I have my water vinegar kind of salt solution is what the servings called for in there. Got that kind of heated up right here on low. And then over here I have a pan with the lids, and they're kind of heating up also. Now this is another thing that I guess is somewhat recent. People have been saying that you don't have to do this step. I guess before, this is something you had to do, and it even still says to do it in this book. And I don't know if they have a new version or something like that, but I guess people say you don't have to actually put these in kind of boiling water, but just I do it regardless, just because that's how we've done it before, and that's how I see everybody else do it. So that's just kind of the other steps, just waiting for these to kind of heat up a little bit more, and then I'm going to pull them out. Alright, the jars are done. I'm just going to pour the water out, and then I'm going to transfer them over to the towel, and that's when we'll start putting in the spicing and the okra and everything like that. Alright, so I got the jars out, and as you can tell, I didn't pour all the water back into the pot, because from what I've seen here lately is whenever I put them back in there, it's usually too high, and so just a couple of the jars I pour just into the sink. So right now, what the recipe calls for is some garlic, and then we're also going to be putting some of these. Actually, these are New Mexico chilies that we grew, I believe it was last year, and they're still good. And this is kind of be like a spicy okra, and it's really good. Alex made it last year, and it's really nice. So we're kind of just going to keep going with that. And the spicing, we don't have a family tradition type recipe. We just use the regular, just kind of Ball pickling spice, and we do put a little bit extra dill, just a little bit, and I'll show you. But that's all we do. So I'll stick in some, since these are kind of smaller garlics, I just put 2 of them in, and each one will get 2. Now we're going to put these peppers on, and Alex actually made this, and I don't know if she's going to do it this year, but all we do is just pull it off, and then you make sure if the stem comes off, that's what you want. And I just drop one in there, and each one of these will get 1 pepper. Alright, I got the garlic and the peppers in there. I washed my hands after touching the peppers because it's a good thing to do. If you touch your eyes, it's going to hurt. So now with the pickling spice, I'm just going to do, I like to do a teaspoon just in each. It seems like to give it good enough flavor in there. And guys, like, this is real easy to do. And that's kind of why I like it, because, you know, I can do it. So that means pretty much anybody can do it. Then I just like to put a little bit more dill, not much, probably, what is this, 1/4 of a tablespoon, probably a little bit less than that. It's not much. I just like to put a little bit extra in there. It actually makes it look a lot cooler too when it comes out. So we got all the spicing in the jars. Now we're going to be putting the okra in there. The jars are kind of cooled down a little bit so I can actually touch them. So we're doing pint jars, and so you got to make sure, you know, that you need a generous 1/2 inch head spacing for your liquid and for your okra. So you can't use like big okra. Now for okra like this is like 8 inches, and a lot of people say, you know, this is way too big. And yes, it is, like, definitely for canning, but stop throwing these away. Even, I would say, even a little bit longer. A lot of people just throw these and they just don't do anything with them. But stay tuned at the end of this video and I'll show you what you can do with these. And we just kind of figured this out this year. So stay tuned for that. I'll show you what you can do with your long okra. But right now, let's get these jars filled up with the okra. Got the okra in there. Now we're going to put our vinegar, water, kind of salt solution in there, and this is hot. I had it on there just on a low heat, and so we're going to fill these up, and then we're going to start putting lids on. So we ran out of the vinegar solution, so we gotta just put a little bit more on there. But while we're doing that, we're gonna get all the air pockets out of here, and you just get this tool like we talked about before and just kind of shove it around, press the okra back down, and that gets all the air pockets out. And then, like we said, you want to use a 1/2 inch space, so we gotta make sure these stay down a little bit. That should be good. Now we're going to be just wiping the rim because we're going to be putting the lids on. And what this does is just make sure that your lid will have a good seal, that there's no particles, you know, the spicing got on there or anything like that. Alright, so everything's done here. Now the jars are going to be going into the canner, and then we're going to be putting the canner on for 15 minutes when it comes to a boil. So it comes to a boil, then we start the 15 minutes. One thing that I'll say about this is we've never used this type of little rack. It is handy, but if y'all are kind of new to this as I am, you want to make sure you evenly place them and when you take them off, because if you just go on one side, this thing will turn over and go in there. Don't ask me how I know that, but that's what it'll do. So if you're using this, make sure you're just putting them in there evenly. we got them in, and you want the water definitely to be above the lids. We turned it back on high, and now we're just waiting for a boil, and then we'll start the 15 minutes. Alright, so the 15 minutes is up. I turned off the burner, and now I'm going to take the lid off and start another timer for 5 minutes. And what that does is it just cools it down, because if you pull them out right now, they could break the rapid being hot to cold can break the glass. So you want to let it cool down, and this is what they say to do. So take this off. A lot of steam. Put that over there, and then I will start another timer for 5 minutes and let them cool down. Alright, 5 minutes is up, so we're going to pull these up with this tray. I haven't really used this a whole lot, so hopefully I don't break anything. And then now I'm going to get my little handy dandy tool and just grab them and just pull them out. And I actually read today you don't dip them over or anything, just set them just like that, even with the water on them, it's fine. I was actually just reading that. It said you don't want to tip them over because that can kind of do something with the seal. So now they're going to sit there for 24 hours, and you don't touch them, you don't do nothing, you don't wipe the water off, leave them alone, don't even breathe on them. And you do want to not have a draft or anything to go, to touch these. Just leave them alone 24 hours. And what you're going to be hearing probably throughout, a little bit is a good, that pops. And that means it's sealed. And that's how you know if one of the lids has been sealed, is you hear that. And you can actually, later I'll show you how you know exactly you can actually touch it. But right now, these are done, and they're going to be sitting here for the next 24 hours until we do anything with them. So I was going to show you exactly how you can tell if the lids are sealed after they're, after 24 hours is up. If you haven't heard, sometimes I don't hear very well, and I don't know if all of them went, and you don't touch them. So when it comes time when you can touch them, how you know is, so this is one we did probably a week or so ago, and if you there's nothing here. Now this is what you're going to know if it's not. If you hear something like that, that means it's not sealed. Because see this one, nothing. I don't know if you heard that. That's a good thing right there. It just clicked. I don't know if you could hear that. But that's a way to know if it really sealed. And once it's sealed like that, then all you got to do is just get a washcloth, wipe it off, wipe the whole jar off, wipe the lid off, take the ring off and put the ring somewhere, and then you store it just the way it is like this. If you leave the ring on, people say that it can mess up the seal, so you want to keep that off, and that's what the ball book said to do, to keep them off. And so that's pretty much how you can them and what you can kind of look for. Now guys, like I said before, I'm not an expert, so I would say to y'all, go out and do your own research. Don't take everything that I say, with a grain of salt. But because I do make mistakes, you can ask my wife. She can say that. But we're going to actually go and we're going to show you another way. We had a little bit of leftovers here. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to grill these. And I wish I could take, the credit for thinking of this, but I can't. I can't. I wish I did because it's so good. It's like a new way. I've never had grilled okra, and I love it. But the way we got this idea was from Daniel from Arms Family Homestead. He grilled some okra in one of his videos, and we saw it. And I'm like, you know what? I got a lot of okra. I'm gonna try it. I tried it, fell in love with it. I almost eat it every day. And then I started doing experiments with how long can I use the longer ones, because it kind of softens them up. And I've used ones, like I said, bigger than this one, and it does the exact same thing. And a lot of people throw these away because they think they can't do anything with them. But we're gonna go and actually grill these up, and I'll show you how we do it. All right, I got the grill kind of preheating right now, but this is very simple, and y'all should try it out. If you like grilled asparagus, that's probably the closest thing that I can relate it to. If you like that, you'll definitely like it. If you don't like grilled asparagus, still try it and see what you think of. But, so right here I got some oil. This is a grapeseed oil, but use any oil you got. It doesn't matter. This is just what we have. So I just kind of sprinkle it around like that. And then I just roll it around. Alright, so that's pretty coated right there. Now I get a little bit of salt, and I just sprinkle it in. You know, I don't measure anything. I'm a guy, so I just kind of sprinkle it around until I think it's nice. Roll that around. And we got pepper here, just regular ground pepper, just a little bit of that. Now, that's all we do. That's all I like to do. You could do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. This is just, it's simple. It tastes good. If you're a real good cook and you know of other spices to put in there, you go right ahead. But just doing this, for me, tastes amazing. I got the grill. On the temperature, it's very flexible, but I usually around 300, 350-ish. I mean, it's not nothing crazy. It's just pretty much the higher it is, kind of the quicker it's going to be, but you're going to have to watch it a little bit more. Like I said, guys, it's kind of storming out, so if you hear winds and some rain, that's what it is. But we'll just put the okra here on the grill. And now you just let that sit. I don't have an exact time on it. I just kind of watch it, and I'll show you how you know it's kind of done. Pretty much whenever it starts getting just a little bit black and it starts getting squishy, then you can pull it off and it's ready to go. So you just kind of got to watch it a little bit, and I'll try to time it right now and see kind of where we're at on the time frame. Alright, so we're about 12 minutes in, and the thing you want to do, maybe around 5 minutes, kind of roll them around, kind of like hot dogs. But what you're looking at right here, see this one kind of split just a little bit right there, and you kind of don't want that. That means it's a little too much. But right before it's like that, and you can see right here, they're kind of squishy. So these ones are pretty much kind of done. And what I like to do, I'll just stick them up here. So they're still kind of heat, but they're not directly on there. And I'll let this one just go for a little bit longer since it was a lot bigger. So you can see here, it's kind of just, kind of floppy a little bit. Still got a little bit to it, but you see it's got that black on it, just a little bit of it's not a crisp. It's more just, it gives it a little bit of taste too. But when you eat it, it's really good. But guys, we really hope you enjoyed this video. Go over and tell Daniel thank you for showing us how to make this okra on the grill. It's amazing. I do this all the time now. Whenever I have bigger okra and I can't fit it in a jar, or I just want something to eat for dinner, I do it this way. You got any questions, leave them in the comments below. We try our hardest to reply to them. So we ask you please subscribe to our channel, hit that bell for notifications, and share our videos with anybody you think that would like our videos. It really helps out our channel, and we really appreciate all the support that y'all give us, and telling us you like our videos. That really means a lot to us, because we do try to put a good amount of time into them, so it's something enjoyable for y'all. But y'all take care, and God bless.